Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Wednesday, October the 31st. Today is Halloween, so happy Halloween to everyone watching this video. Hopefully you enjoy this video. Hopefully we can make you some money today, or we can just make some money on this Halloween slate. I know you guys probably spent some money on some candy for everyone in your neighborhood, so hopefully let's try and make some of that money back today. 7-game slate, really like it. There's a lot of value we'll talk about in a second. There's some big injuries on this slate: Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, some other ones as well that we'll get to. We'll go through each position and talk about some of my favorite plays, stud plays, mid-tier options, value options. I'll try and cover as much as I can. But before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. Really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. That way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. You can turn on notifications as well. You will get notified every time I upload. So if you don't want to miss any videos, you can do that as well. But yeah, guys, let's look at point guard today. So up top here we have Steph Curry, 9,800, gets a matchup at home against the Pelicans. And I love this game just as a game stack, especially if Anthony Davis plays, because this game could definitely be competitive if Anthony Davis plays. If AD is out, I would say the blowout potential's a lot higher with AD out. But if the game stays close, even if AD plays or not, this game should be high scoring. Really like Curry here. Definitely my favorite point guard to pay up for at 9,800. He's under 10K, so I think this is a reasonable price tag for Curry. When Curry was like 10-2, 10-4, that's a bit of a hefty price tag to pay for Curry. But in this matchup, against a Pelicans team that plays fast, doesn't play a ton of good defense, should be plenty of points scored here. Great spot for Curry. In just 25 minutes, his last game against the Bulls, the dude put up 49 DraftKings points. He's been so good this year, been shooting lights out. Clay's coming off a hot game, so maybe people will go to Clay. But I really like Curry at 9,800. If I can fit him in a lot of my lineups, I'm for sure going to be trying to do so at point guard. I don't really like a lot of the other options like Oladipo. Devin Booker's not expected to play today. Mitchell, Levine, I don't think I'm going to be going to those guys. If Anthony Davis is out, and there's a pretty good chance he is today, Drew Holiday, even with the blowout concern, I'm still going to be on at 7,200. That's just too cheap of a price tag for Drew Holiday, especially if AD is out. In close games, Holiday's going to play 35, 36, 37 minutes. It was a competitive game. Last game against Denver, AD was out. Drew Holiday played 35 minutes, 42 DraftKings points, nearly triple-doubled. It was an assist and 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double. If AD's out and this game stays competitive, we could see a monster game from Drew Holiday. So I really like him at 7,200, and I just like a game stack of this game in general. Just a lot of good plays in this game. Other point guards, I don't really like a ton besides like Drew Holiday. Doncic's in a good spot against the Lakers. Jamal Murray's in a good spot against the Bulls. But if Anthony Davis is out, I think I'd rather just play Drew Holiday over those two guys. If AD plays, then I'd probably pivot to probably Doncic against the Lakers. Really good spot for him. But since we covered some good mid-tier plays, let's try and find some value. So one more mid-tier play. Dennis Smith Jr. against the Lakers seems a little bit too cheap at 5,900. I do like him, but let's go to the value. There's a really, really cheap play that could be one of the best values on the slate down here. So we know Devin Booker, doubtful to play. Isaiah Cannon is going to be a game-time decision. Josh Jackson also popped up on the injury report, and he is questionable, I believe. So we have, I'm not even sure how you say this guy's name, but Eli Okopo, something like that. 3,700. He played 31 minutes in the Suns' last game, and he played really well. Put up 34 DraftKings points. He had 18 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Took 9 shots, shot 9 field goals, shot 3 threes as well. Just a really good game from Okobo. And if Cannon, Jackson, and Devin Booker are out, at least we know Devin Booker is probably not going to play, but if Cannon or Jackson miss, preferably Cannon, if he misses, we could see Okobo start for Cannon. Just going to see a lot of usage. This Suns team is going to be pretty thin in the backcourt with their guards, so should be looking at some big minutes from him. He could potentially play 30-plus minutes again. At 3,700, getting a guy playing 30-plus minutes, just too good of a value to pass up on. So as long as Cannon's out, Devin Booker I expect to be out, then I'll be on Eli Okobo in a ton of lineups at 3,700. Just a great value play. Not really worried about the matchup with the Spurs. The Spurs aren't nearly as good of a defensive team as they've been in the past. I would say there's some blowout concern here because Phoenix is just so bad, but even if the game blows out, there's a good chance this guy could still be on the court. I believe he's one of their younger guys. He's a draft pick, so they're probably going to leave him on the court, even if it is a blowout. Just a great value I see at point guard. Going to be in a ton of my lineups at 3,700. But let's move on to shooting guard. So you do have DeMar DeRozan at the top of this position. He's pretty expensive, 9,500. I don't think I'm going to be on DeRozan a ton today. I'd rather just play Curry for 300 more. I just feel like Curry probably has a higher ceiling than DeRozan. Honestly, might have a higher floor as well. It's a great matchup for DeRozan, but Curry's in a great spot as well. And just 300 more, I think I'd rather play Curry. Shooting guard for me today, I don't love a lot of the mid-range plays besides the guys I've already talked about. Like Jimmy Butler against the Jazz, I think I'll be shying away from. Donovan Mitchell, don't see myself having a ton of him. I've been on Gary Harris a lot lately, but he is now priced up to 6,900. I don't think he's as strong of a play at this price tag, but it is a good matchup against the Bulls. Bulls just a really bad team. They've been playing fast this year. They're a bad defensive team. Definitely a good spot for Harris, but with that price tag, I don't see myself going too crazy on him today. Clay got priced up to 6,400. I'll be shying away from Clay, especially if people are going to hop on him since he's coming off that big game where he got really hot from the field, scored 50 points. I'll be fading Clay today. Don't see myself getting to him, especially at 6,400. In the mid-range, if we want to go here, there isn't a ton that really stands out to me. I think shooting guard's probably another position we can find some value. So Cam Payne's continuing to start at 4,600. Could potentially be a value. He's been starting for Chris Dunn, been getting about mid-20s in minutes. Played 20 minutes last game against Golden State. That game did blow out, though. Payne still put up 24 DK points. This game against Denver, I would say, probably has some blowout potential. But if it stays close, Cam Payne, another value we could potentially use. At shooting guard, Damian Dotson, 4,600, continues to play 28 to 30 minutes every night for the Knicks. He's really cheap, 4,600. He's going to be on the court for 30-plus minutes at this price tag. Is definitely a value we could go to. And then the last one, as long as Andrew Wiggins is out again today, then Josh Okogie, 4,400, probably the best value at shooting guard because he played 30 minutes last game against the Lakers with Wiggins out, put up 35 DraftKings points. We don't know what we're going to get from Okogie, but as long as Wiggins out, we know the minutes are going to be there. I don't love the matchup with the Jazz, but 4,400, if he's going to play 30-plus minutes again, then it's definitely a value option I'll be on. But I think that's it for shooting guard, so let's move on to small forward. LeBron and KD up top at this position. Don't see myself getting too much LeBron today. Just that matchup. I don't really think the matchup's bad, but the price tag's what really gets me off LeBron. 11.3, pretty hefty price, pretty expensive. Just don't see myself forcing him in a ton of lineups. I really like the 9K range. I think there are a lot of strong plays there. Kevin Durant at 9,600. I think I'd actually take the $1,700 in savings, go down to KD. KD could potentially outscore LeBron, and he's nearly $2,000 cheaper. I'd rather play Curry over KD, but KD's definitely a guy I'd like. I'd probably play KD over DeRozan. They're just $100 difference. Give me KD there. But mid-tier small forwards, if we want to go to this price range, I don't see a ton that I love. Maybe Rudy Gay against the Suns, but Rudy Gay, 6,100. I don't know if I really am into that price tag, but Gay's been really good this year for the Spurs. Been playing big minutes. It's a great matchup here. Could potentially go to him, but at that price tag, I don't see myself getting a ton of Rudy Gay today. Looking for value, so Josh Jackson, if Devin Booker's out again, I'll probably have some exposure to this guy. We saw last year when Devin Booker was out, Josh Jackson was the guy to go to. That hasn't been the case so far. The last two games, Devin Booker's been out, and Jackson's only played 24 and 21 minutes, and has really struggled, just 18 and 11 DraftKings points. But he's still really, really cheap, man. 4,700 for Josh Jackson with Devin Booker out. If this guy plays today, I'll have some exposure. I'll be going back to the well. I think he's just fine. He's going to get right one of these games. With Booker out, there's just so much usage to go around for this Suns team. I think Jackson's going to soak a lot of it up. I do like him as a value play. But I think that's it for small forward value. So let's move on to power forward. Anthony Davis at 11.4. I really like today if he plays against Golden State. Not that the matchup's like great or anything. We know Golden State's really good defensively. But if the Pelicans are going to keep this game close, It's probably going to be because AD goes for like 70 DraftKings points, puts up like 30 real points. If AD plays today, I'll be jamming him in definitely over LeBron. If he's out, we've talked about Drew Holiday. We'll talk about Mirotic in a second. Julius Randle again. Kind of the same guys we've been on lately. So AD, obviously a wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see till morning shoot around if he's going to be able to play tonight or not. But other power forwards, you got Blake Griffin at 9,400. Don't see myself going to Blake Griffin a ton. Just add that price tag. I love the matchup, but 9,400, I'd rather play KD. Honestly, I'd rather play LaMarcus Aldridge for a little bit cheaper. He's in a great matchup against the Suns. We know how bad the Suns are defensively. I do like Aldridge here. Mirotic at 7,500. Him and Drew Holiday probably going to be core plays for me if Anthony Davis is out again. Even though there's a lot of blowout potential in that game, those are going to be the two guys that just soak up so much usage. I like Mirotic if AD's out. I like Randle as well. Randle finally played some good minutes last game. 26 minutes against Denver. 44 DraftKings points with Anthony Davis out. Even though he played off the bench, still saw a ton of run, got 26 minutes. If he plays off the bench again, that honestly might be better for him. I think I'd rather have Okafor start and have Randle come off the bench, because when Randle comes off the bench, gets a lot of run with the second unit and just gets a lot of usage. So I really like him at 6,500 if AD's unable to go today. But let's go a little bit cheaper. Paul Millsap just as a price play, 5,800 against the Bulls. Kind of sticks out to me. Millsap seems just a little bit too cheap if you're going to this mid-range. But there isn't a ton of value I see here, so I think that's it for power forward. Let's quickly move over to center and look at some of the top center plays. So Jokic and Drummond both have not talked about yet. Really good spot for Jokic at 9,700 against the Bulls. I don't love that price tag for Jokic, but I do love the matchup. The Bulls just aren't that good of a defensive team. They've been playing fast. I really like Jokic here. Drummond also in a great spot against Brooklyn. We saw Drummond pretty much dominate this Brooklyn team to begin the year. 54 DraftKings points, 24 and 20. This is definitely a 20-20 game for Drummond. If this game can stay competitive, then Drummond can easily go for 20 and 20. It's just one of those great matchups for him. I like Jokic, I like Drummond, but the mid-tier is just really strong at center. So DeAndre Jordan at 7,600, love this spot for him against the Lakers. DeAndre Jordan so far this year with the Mavericks has just been a beast. He's been playing a ton of minutes, just been doing so much. I think he's had a double-double in every game this year. Last game against the Spurs, he didn't get the double-double because he only had 8 points. But you look at these rebounds, 18, 19, 15, 16, 16, 10, 12. DJ's going to get you probably 14, 15 rebounds. Can definitely get 20, 25 points, has that kind of ceiling. This could for sure be a 20-20 game, or not a 20-20 game, but like a 25-15 game for DJ. Love this spot for him against the Lakers. I think this game has a lot of game stack potential. We're about to talk about JaVale McGee. I think JaVale McGee, one of the better options at center. He's going to be forced into big minutes. They're going to need somebody with size to guard DeAndre Jordan. And I think that is going to be JaVale McGee. If we go down to him at 5,700, love this spot for him. Saw a little bit of a price decrease because his last game against Minnesota didn't do that well. Just 27 DraftKings points. But he did play 31 minutes, which we love to see. The Lakers are giving JaVale McGee a ton of run. They're playing him like a true starter. In this spot against DeAndre Jordan, they're going to need JaVale McGee out there pretty much every time that DeAndre Jordan's going to be on the court. So I expect 30-plus minutes again from McGee. Could easily get a double-double. We know he's going to get some stocks as well. Can get some steals, get some blocks. Just great spot for McGee. Love this game as a game stack. You have like Doncic, Dennis Smith, DJ. You can play from Dallas. On the Lakers side, I like McGee. LeBron, you could go to maybe Lonzo or Kyle Kuzma. But I love the centers in this game, DJ and McGee. Two of my favorite center plays today. But I think that is it for center. JaVale McGee is probably the cheapest guy I like here. Jared Allen I want to mention at 5,300. I really like this spot for Jared Allen against Detroit. He played pretty well against them to begin the year. 30 minutes, 39 DraftKings points, 17 and 10 with 4 blocks. Expect another 30-point game from Jared Allen, but I just think JaVale McGee might have a bit of a higher ceiling, could definitely get 40 in this spot. I'd play McGee over Allen, but if I need the savings, Jared Allen at 5,300 for sure an option for me. But I think that's it for center, and I think that's it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have a good Halloween. Spend some time with your family. I'll be spending some time with my girlfriend, enjoying the day, and hopefully we can make a little bit of money on tonight's slate. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. Like and subscribe, and good luck tonight. Peace.